Tibet diaspora, Tibetans diaspora. That is the kind of one of the darkest moment in the history of Tibet, unprecedented that they have had never seen. 10th May 1959, when Dalai Lama, okay, the spiritual head of Tibet, Buddhist spiritual head of Tibet, 10th May 1959, when he decided to leave his homeland Tibet for India. That was the darkest moment in Tibet's history. So 10th May 1959. So I always say that 15th August 1947 is the darkest day in the history of Indian subcontinent. Afghanistan, Iran, Pakistan, Kashi region, and then Tibet region, Burma, and up to Cambodia, and then Sri Lanka, Maldives, everywhere. Devastation started happening. Means the countries which are culturally and trade-wise, they were kind of tightly coupled to each other. They started seeing havoc. Okay, what India started seeing, that is different story. But the countries which comes in Indian subcontinent, they were kind of, you can say that future was marred. Means future was completely complete. What future means? Present at that time was went in a dark room. So that is the pathetic situation that was seen everywhere. So all countries became Islamic Republic of Afghanistan, Islamic Republic of Pakistan. Those were Hindustan earlier. Islamic Republic of Iran, Islamic Republic of Iraq, and so many things, which used to be a kind of prosperous countries till 1947. Now everyone's situation not degraded, means they saw rock in front of them. Okay, at the end, what is the situation of India now? It is not hidden from anyone. Five times population increase, trade is zero among the Indian subcontinent or between the countries in Indian subcontinent. So the kind of the rupee to dollar, it is not hit. I mean, dollar to rupee is not hidden from anyone. Hunger index 111 by 125. That is the worldwide hunger index. Okay, population wise, five times increment. Unemployment wise, then it is not hidden from anyone. Around probably unofficial data is beyond 90% is the unemployment rate. Everything is now completely out. But still, one party is hopeful with the 500 rupees LPG cylinder. They will give 500 LPG cylinder who looted the country, and 500 LPG cylinder, they will solve all the problems. But anyway, 10th May 1959, the gloomy day, the havoc that came on Tibetan people when Dalai Lama finally he decided to leave his own homeland to India. So that is something it is something that is the most painful for him. Anyway, so 1949, the China Communist Party, it took over the China. China kind of China reign. So China controlled the Communist Party of the China. It took in 1949. Okay, and now it is equipped with the army called People's Liberation Army. I don't know what is people and what is liberation here, but People's Liberation Army. Now, from 1949 onwards, they started marching on the Indian subcontinent. So they took over Kashiri. Now they are behind Tibet. So, so 1949, so 1951, they gave ultimatum to Tibet government. Tibet is an independent country and it falls in Indian subcontinent. So they gave ultimatum to the Tibet government that they have to agree to 17 points. And in 17 point, with 17 point, there is a point that now Tibet will be annexed to China. So Tibet would be annexed to China. So that is the kind of ultimatum they gave to Tibet. How someone would agree upon it? Tibet culture is completely different and it matches Indian culture. Chinese culture is completely different. How two different culture would mix together to make a country? It was absolutely not possible. So then the only ultimate thing was the skirmish, the fight. So fight started happening between the People's Liberation Army and Tibetan army. Hundreds of thousands people got killed. So from 1951 till 1959, Tibet saw the kind of bloodbath. So, but India was indifferent because Indian National Congress, who was ruling the India, so he had already put the bond. So in outside boundary, there is no India. Means they had their own boundary. So outside boundary, there is no India. So why you take they take care of the people? They were busy in looting the people. Create a boundary and start looting the people. There is another example of it. Not only Indian National Congress. There is one Mr. Imran Khan. He was Prime Minister of Pakistan till some time back. So during the election, he promised the people that the trade between Afghanistan and Pakistan would happen the way it used to happen prior to the 1947. Any trader, anyone can come to Pakistan from Afghanistan and he can do the trade. So this would increase the trade with Afghanistan. People would become prosperous, and people consider this as he is from Pashtun origin. He claims so. So people opted him and he became prime minister of the country. The first thing he did is the along Pakistan and Afghanistan border, he did the fencing, okay, wire fencing around 1,500 kilometers or 2,000 kilometers. That much money he spent for the fencing so that no one would pass the border. If no one would pass the border, then there is no question of going without visa and passport. Now, people were so happy with him that he could not complete his 5 year tenure also. In 3.5 years only, he was pushed away from his throne. Now he is in jail. So this is a tradition that put people inside a fence and start looting. This is the trend of democratic system in Indian subcontinent. I won't say other places because they are very prosperous as per the democratic science is concerned. But in Indian subcontinent, they, democracy exists only when there is an election time. After election time, it is worse to dictatorship. You do whatever it comes to your mind. See the hypocrisy. You took vote claiming that you will open the gate with the Afghanistan and you made a wire fencing not even a single animal can cross. So people were kind of they were awake. People are not sleeping now. So people used to sleep in 60, 70 years and they saw what happened to them. So people were ready. In Pakistan, people were ready. So now they threw him to jail. Now in jail, he would be doing fencing, I believe so. So Indian National Congress did the same thing. What they came in the power, I don't know. Certainly they would have said that we will have good relationship with everywhere, the way it to happen. First thing they did was they tried starting doing the fencing. Okay, so they were busy in looting Indian people while they will take care of the Tibet. So China, they finally they grabbed the Tibet. So 10th May 1959, Dalai Lama came to India. So first they arrived in they opened their office in Mussoorie in 1959. Then they shifted to Dharmshala in Himachal Pradesh. So there they set up a kind of administration called CTA, Central Tibetan Administration. So it is a government in exile. 80,000 people also came along with the Dalai Lama, leaving their homes, and they settled there. And what settled? They think what would be their life there. And now CTA is taking care of all the people, the Central Tibetan Administration. Now they have their own educational system, their own medical system. So these are the things they should take care of their Tibetan people. The way still Tibet is freed from the China. So till they would stay there. So there is a southwestern state also, Karnataka, and it is at high altitude. So it also gave around 2,300 acre of land to the settlement of the Tibetan people. So around 23,000 people they are living in Karnataka also. And around 15,000 people are living in Dharamsala. Otherwise, rest of the country. So around 1,15,000, 0.15 million, 150,000 people, Tibetan people, they are living in India, and they are living in a way that they are highly hopeful that quickly they would go to their homeland. Okay, so let's see that how big Tibet is. Tibet is around 25 lakhs square kilometer. It is almost equal to India, where India is around 33, I believe, lakh square kilometer. So Tibet is 25 lakh square kilometer. It is a big country, and population is 70 lakhs, and the average altitude of Tibet is 4,380 meters above sea level. So altitude is very high. Means it is in non-comparable with any place in the world. So any country in the world, 4,380, more than 4 kilometer height, average height of the Tibet as far as full country is concerned. So there is the highest Buddhist monastery that is near to a Mount Everest is around 5,000 meter above the sea level. So it is a high altitude country. It is different to any other country. How China can meet Tibet? Tibet is a lion. Means Tibet is different altogether. Anyway, so this is the story of Tibet, and so many people they kind of migrated to India. I would not say migrated. Forcibly they were vacated from the China, uh, from the Tibet through the People Liberation Army, and they have to live life in exile. Now it is around 60 years in the exile, and this is the world record for any group that is abroad. They have set up the exile government. Now Tibetans they came as a kind of in three separate patches. One came in 1959, another came around 1980 when China opened Tibet for tourism and other kind of mining and those kind of things. And in 1996 again some people they came in a bunch when China again more it opened the Tibet to the foreigners. So it is like China is not kind of ruling the Tibet, it is ruining the Tibet. It has ruined the Tibet completely. So Tibet, if it becomes free from China also, China, then it will take time to kind of recover, recuperate. Recuperate is a better word. Recuperate from the sickness or from the element what it is going through. It would take lot of time. So that is the kind of a situation of the Tibet. I would say that it happened because of India. If till 1947 everything was okay, and Tibet is not, it was not part of British India, because Britishers they tried to occupy Tibet. They sent army to the Tibet, but Tibet was very powerful. Britishers through their army they occupied Indian territory till Pakistan and till Burma. Through military operation, they occupied. They sent military to Tibet also. Their idea was to spread all over the Indian subcontinent. But powerful Tibetan army, they chased them away. So they tried Afghanistan also. Afghanistan is also at high altitude. So powerful Afghan people, they chased them also. So both places they were chased away. So whatever the area down the line, whatever they had, they called it India. That is Bharat. Otherwise, they tried Tibet also. But in 1947, when Indian National Congress came to India, all other parts in Indian subcontinent they became completely weak, disheartened, because they when you are away from your motherland, when you are dissociated from your main country, that is the most powerful, the greater Himalaya is in India, then you will become mentally, morally highly weak. When India is taking care of Indian subcontinent and it is busy, the government which should take care of the Indian subcontinent, if it is busy in looting its own people, what will happen to them morally, mentally? Because you, at the end, Your moral power or mental power comes into the picture when you do the war. When you go to war, the mental status, it makes sense heavily. Now, what mental status you are? They can defeat China also. This Tibet is a very powerful country, even though it has 70 lakhs people, but they changed British. But means they don't have any more any mental power, right? Means they are the main country, that is India, and Indian government, they are busy in doing something else. When they are busy in doing something else, what will happen to countries in Indian subcontinent? Same thing happened to Tibetans also. Now, Tibet is like a kind of it is in no state. So CTA. So in 1990 itself, many Tibetans who were they lost their hope. They thought that day or tomorrow the Indian government they would kind of chase away the Chinese because they have to protect their land. So by 1990 they started losing the hope and they started migrating to other countries. Now United States, Canada, Australia, okay, and I believe Switzerland. So these countries, many people they migrated from India, the Tibetans, to these countries. So the population of the Tibetans in India is decreasing because people are leaving. So 1,50,000 was the maximum population of Tibetan India. Now it is around 1 lakh. So they are high esteemed people. So they are kind of migrating to other countries. So that is the situation. Now, as far as Tibetan settlement in India, now their Dalai Lama, who was very young in 1959, he still lives now, but he is very old, around 89-year old. So what would happen post Dalai Lama? So every question is unanswered now. So the future of Tibetans, though living exile life in India, and future of Tibet. So everything is on toss now. What will happen to this big country, which is very important? Why Tibet is important to the world? So Tibet is kind of a good exporter in the fabric area, like wool, sheep wool. So it is a high exporter of the in fabric area. Tibet has very high deposition of copper. So in mining also, Tibet has high kind of deposition of copper. Okay, so but the biggest thing that is the asset of Tibet is its tourism, Himalaya. So from Nepal side, probably you cannot go near to the Mount Everest, but from Tibet side, from 20 kilometers, you can see the Mount Everest. Mount Everest, the peak. Okay, so there Buddhist monastery is there, that is 5,000 at altitude. If you stand there, there are photos that also I have seen, and it is like you are standing in heaven. So the tourism is something that is kind of very powerful in Tibet. Apart from it, they have kind of a fabric, or they have petroleum deposition, they have natural or they natural gas deposition, and then the biggest thing is the tourism. So everything they are losing. What they everything are losing when they have lost their homes only. They are scattering here and there. The CTA, the Central Tibetan Administration, now instead of having office only in India, that is in Dharamshala, Himachal Pradesh, now unfortunately they have offices in 10 countries. So now CTA has office in 10. Everywhere they are holding their hand that someone should kind of liberate them. So that is their condition. One time they chased Britishers who were controlling the world. Full earth was controlled by Britishers. That is a kind of saying. They chased Britishers. Now they cannot chase China. This is their situation, bad fortune that India is not the India what it used to happen. Okay, so if you believe the way Indians were busy in something else, Indian National Congress was busy in looting Indians, and Indians were busy with Indian National Congress, they called it development or whatever. You believe whatever situation that is progressing now in Indian. So now see the condition of India. the degradation that has happened in India, 1 crore 150 crore population and hunger index and then unemployment, everything is dollar to rupee, everything has gone for the toss. This is situation of India. But if you see Indian subcontinent, their situation is zero, minus. Okay, if their condition is minus, the Indian condition is also not. Everyone is crying. 1915 August 1947. Okay, since then Indian subcontinent completely vanished. If you want that this kind of development should carry on, it should be kind of happen the way it is going ahead, then you can, now you are free to vote for 500 rupees cylinder.